Peace and welcome to ManiSisters TV. My name is Adrienne and I'm here to get you acquainted with human design. So today I'm going to tell you 4 free and easy ways that you can get more acquainted with human design so that you can get really into your experiment. And what I want to make sure you do is stay until the end, and I'm going to show you a way to get a completely free, completely customized human design report that will walk you step by step through your chart. Stay tuned. So human design is a system. It's a synthesis system. So it's made of astrology, Kaballah. It's made of a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm not going to tell you all of those details, but I'm going to tell you what it can do for you. What it can do is create a map of your life's potential, right? So the body graph and all of the information that's in your chart can give you information about your destiny, about your purpose, about what you're supposed to be doing in life, your vocation, your abundance blueprint, like how you make money, love and connection mapping, even down to how you should eat. So down to your diet. So there's a lot of information inside of these human design charts. The system itself, typically if you get involved in it, they'll call it an experiment, because really what you're doing is getting this information and then applying it in your life. So that's one of the most important things, is that this is a system that's about applying it and testing it. So it's not that you're supposed to just completely blindly trust it. This isn't an experiment, right? And the purpose is so that you can become more of your authentic self by shedding layers of conditioning that you've picked up over time. So what I would say is that the system is best known for getting people in touch with their inner GPS. So just imagine that inside of you is the knowledge to navigate the world in the best way. So the best way for you to navigate through life, there's a key inside of you. And what human design helps you to do is uncover that information for yourself so that you then, are able to navigate life. If you are completely new and none of this makes sense to you, I want you to pause this video after you go to, I'm going to put the address here, but it's https://jovianarchive.com/get_your_chart. I'll make sure to put a link down below so that you're able to go and pull that chart. So that this way you can kind of follow along, because I'm going to talk about some really high level things. And then, like I said, at the end of this video, I'm going to make sure that you can walk away with a fully customized report for you. And I'm not just talking about a chart, because it's going to be definitely beyond just a chart, but something that will actually walk you completely through your individual chart. So let's get into it. So why should you study human design? I know I've already told you like all of the things that are included in there, but if you've come to this video, you might have been experiencing some resistance in your life, or some ways in which life is not feeling satisfactory, where you are feeling stuck, or you feel frustrated or angry, or you're feeling a lot of bitterness or self-pity, depression. You might be feeling all of these things. And of course, the system is not a replacement for medical treatment or proper psychological treatment, but what it can do is uncover kind of some of the whys of why your life looks the way it looks, so that you can actually shift your perspective and start to use every part of yourself, some of the parts that may have even been framed as bad or not the best. Everything that you have been given is a gift. Every part, even the way you think, it's really interesting, because I think a lot of people think we should all think the same, and we should all have the same intellectual capacity. Our differences are what make us magnificent. And that's one of the things that human design also does. By showing you your differences and showing you your blueprint, you're able to appreciate just how special you are, because you are very special. But human design can also help you zoom into what's inside of you, and what's attracting the life that you're experiencing. Because, we've all heard of the law of attraction, right? And the thing about the law of attraction is it does rely on vibration and frequency. However, each of us are entitled to have and hold a vibration and frequency, as high or as low as can be, because, that's part of, the choice that we have being humans and having a life. So what I think that human design helps us to do is be able to focus in on what we are, what we have, what our gifts are, and to elevate the frequency of each of those. So then when you start to do that, eventually the life around you begins to change and shift, because your acceptance and love of yourself has shifted. Anyway, so there's a few really high-level parts of a human design chart that I'd like to talk to you about. First is, if you've pulled your chart, you'll see strategy. And it's like, oh, what is this strategy? Because if you ever talk to anybody who's into human design, they'll talk about strategy. And strategy is based basically on the general way that your aura works. And it's determined by your type. So the idea is that each of our auras has a way that it's triggered to act through interaction with yourself, with your environment, and with other people. So this is just the behavior of your aura. Let's just say like your aura has a special set of mechanics and characteristics by which it works. This is what strategy is. In human design, there are 4 aura types, but there are actually 5 strategies. And if you get more into it, you'll learn much more about that, like how the types and the strategies coincide. But what I would like for you to do, since you've pulled your chart, please comment below what your type is. So again, I told you there are 4 auras. There's 4 aura types, but 5 strategies. And so what I want to know is actually, I'm going to call it your type, but your type and your strategy. So are you a generator? Are you a manifesting generator? Are you a projector? Are you a manifester? Or are you a reflector? Please comment down below. Let me know who you are. I want to know who's watching these videos. And also be sure to click subscribe and click the bell to be notified for more videos, because we're going to go in deep. And share this with friends, especially friends who don't know human design, because honestly, everyone should get the gift of being able to see a map of themselves. Especially if you're into astrology or anything like this. Human design and astrology really can link up. Some people want to put one over the other. Me personally, I like to put them together. So the other part of the human design, basically the GPS, which helps you to make decisions, is authority. So the way to think about authority is it's the way that your intuition is going to speak to you. Okay. Although this is like really basic, it's one of the most basic parts of human design. One of the pillars on which it stands is strategy, which is, the movement of the aura. And then there's authority. And authority, although it is simple, it is not necessarily easy. It's really based on definition in the body graph, and that might be for another video. I will definitely take a deep dive, not only into what authority is, but onto each different kind of authority. But just think of it as the way in which your intuition is going to speak to you. In my mind, I'm thinking of like the little GPS, and you put like, like maybe there's a Morgan Freeman voice and then there's another one. Okay, never mind, nothing like that. But it's really about how your intuition speaks to you. And it can be very subtle and something that you really have to kind of, I almost tell people that they have to back their way into it. that takes a lot more time. It's much more easy to engage strategy almost first and foremost. So most importantly, strategy. Authority, you start to really feel your way into as you go along. So let's go ahead and get those steps that I promised you out of the way. Like, what can you do to go ahead and get into this experiment? So if you've been watching this video and you're still with me, you already did step one, which is just get your chart. Going to Jovian Archive and getting that chart is really the first step, because I like to send people to that first, just to see if the kind of high level information resonates a little bit. If it resonates and it intrigues you, even if it's a little off-putting, you're looking at this chart like, what the heck is that? What is that? You know, that intrigue sometimes pulls people a little bit further. Step two, which I'll say is like another very free thing you don't have to pay for typically, is get into a free community online. There are several free human design communities where people are willing to share information that they have and knowledge that they have. Now, there is, of course, you know, group dynamics. So some of the groups are maybe not quite as supportive as others, but you'll feel your way through it. And honestly, this is a great time for you to start using your strategy and feeling out your authority. So strategy wise, if you are a projector, I'm inviting you to go and look into those groups. And you don't need an invitation. I'm just kind of joking with you, but you know, life is interacting with us at all times. So finding the group that feels good for you is, you know, a really good idea. I think personally, and this is kind of coming from my own knowledge in the system from a very, I would say, traditional human design standpoint, if you can find a group of aura types that are the same as yours, sometimes that feels a lot more comfortable. However, sometimes comfort doesn't really engage you to change. So play around with it. Go join a few groups and see how the dynamics are, and then hang out in the ones where you feel the best. So that's step two. Step three is don't be afraid to Google search. Okay, so you will hear people say that there's bad information out there and that there's, you know, you should get a reading from an analyst and everything else is trash. I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because I have a lot of traditional human design knowledge, and I've looked over many of the blogs that are out there, and I've seen some of the videos that are out there, and I'm going to say most of them are about 85% accurate. A few people kind of go off the rails, but then again, I'm one of those people. So I will tell you, even though I do have traditional human design knowledge, because my knowledge in other esoteric areas is pretty deep and broad, I am not afraid to cross the streams. And I stand in what I believe, and I'm fine with that. So what I'll say is probably 85% of the information you'll find out there is really good. That's kind of like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is about that accurate. And honestly, that level of accuracy, they found that they've done a study on whoever the hell they are. Anyway, that the Encyclopedia Britannica is only about 85% accurate because things change. So just putting that out there. Don't be afraid to Google search. Don't be afraid to watch some videos. Don't be afraid to read some blogs and consume that information, because it's not necessarily about just how accurate it is. You want something that resonates with you, because that's the whole point of an experiment, is to take something in, give it a try, and then say yes or no to it, right? Or maybe before you even get to it, you're like, I don't think that looks like a credible source. Some things might turn you off, and then eventually some of those things that you didn't want to look at before become much more palatable later. Trust me, it can be a little bit weird, this experiment. Anyway, so number 4, And this isn't really something you're gonna do, but this is just something I really advise, is give yourself and the system time. Give yourself time to digest what you're learning intellectually. So you're Googling and you're looking at charts, but you also are doing the experiment in real life. So you're trying things out. You are possibly modifying your behavior a little bit to try out your strategy. So you want to give yourself time to absorb this experience and have the experiment happen. So giving yourself time, and they say that it takes 7 years to decondition with human design. When I started the experiment, I did not believe that. I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm an advanced student. I'm a fast learner. I am all of this and all of that. Pretty sure I can do it faster than that. Well, I can tell you that I am close to 5 years in. And yeah, I'm going to say probably 7 years, and maybe who knows how long. I don't ever claim to be completely deconditioned, and I'm sure there'll be videos about that from me about that whole process. But I just want you to know it does take time. It's really just for you to digest and for things to incubate. And, you know, it takes time to change your habits. And I'm not talking about like, oh, you know, what you think, even though that's a part of it, but it's what you think, it's what you do, and it's what you feel. So this is definitely on an intellectual level, emotional level, but mostly on a body level. So a lot of things just take time. Don't rush. It's an experiment. It isn't a race. All right. So hey, if you're still here with me, and I know you are, we are here at the Big Free Report. Let me tell you something. I've been telling people about this since I found it, and it really just launched, I think, a few months back. But if you go to the website human.design, you have the opportunity there to get a full, free, comprehensive 50-page report emailed to your inbox. When I tell you, I think I got it maybe a few months ago. I've been in my experiment a while now. I know my chart. I have studied several charts. I mean, I've done readings for years at this point. And I've used human design in my coaching. But when I ran across this report, I was completely amazed. I wish this was the report I had seen at the beginning of my experiment, because it was so comprehensive. So for me, having been in my experiment for so long, I didn't get anything new from it. However, it did put some things in a different perspective, which I would never have guessed I could have gotten, even though I will say I learn all the time. So hope that free bonus at the end was worth you staying for the whole video, because honestly, to me, I think that particular resource, it doesn't replace a foundation reading, but it's really close. I mean, there's stuff that's not included in that report that would be in advanced readings, but it's really, really nice. It really walks you through your own body graph, yours, and it's customized to you. So again, thanks for joining, and please like, subscribe, share the video. And I know I told you guys to join a supportive group. You can join the ManiSisters Empowerment Collective. We'd love to have you. Anyway, peace.